So force is any external agent which changes the position of the body or which will try to change the position of the body. So for example, let's take an object. Let us say this is one body. So when I apply force, it is trying to move. Suppose if the weight of this object is very high, when we apply the force, it will try to move. Means the force tends to move this body. So this force can be defined as it is an external agent which will change the position of the body or which tends to change the position of the body. Let's take an object which is resting on a fixed surface, let us say. Now when I apply some force, F is a force applied on this object, then this body will try to move in this direction or it will try to move in this direction. When this body is moving like this line we say line of action of that force. So what we call this line? So this is the line of action of force. Now let us see the units of force. So Newton is the unit of force. Force is a vector, we know that. Force is a vector, so which has, so vector means both magnitude and direction. The different characteristic properties of the force. Of force. See, force is having the following properties. Number one, so it has a magnitude. Number two, has a direction. Nature of the force. So either it will be pulling force or it will be a pushing force. Then the fourth one is point of application of force. So at which point we are applying the force. So these are the four properties a single force is having. So let us discuss the characteristic properties of the force with the help of the simple diagram. So let's take an object which is resting on fixed horizontal surface. So let us say a force 10 newtons is acting from point A at an angle of 30 degrees. Now let us see the four properties from the figure. So one is the magnitude. So what is the magnitude of force? 10 newtons is the magnitude of force. Then direction means here it is angle, means what is the angle of this force? That angle we say direction of that force, that is 30 degrees. Then the nature of the force, here it is a pulling force, so it will be pulling in nature. Then the point of application of force is A. Why I am talking about this point A means, so if you take an object, so when I apply force in this direction, the body is moving, but when I apply force downward like this, the body is not moving. when we apply the force at different angle at different points, the effect of that force will be different. In the different cases, for the different forces, different angles, the effect of that force, the motion of that force will be different. These are the four properties a single forces have. Let us see the types of forces. So basically there are two types of forces. One is the coplanar force system types of forces and system of forces. So one is coplanar forces. The second one is non-coplanar forces. Coplanar means it is a single plane. Non-coplanar means there are different planes. Non-coplanar, not in same plane. Coplanar forces means all the forces are in a single plane. Non-coplanar forces means all the forces are not in a single plane, they are in different planes. So coplanar means, let us take a single plane xy. Non-coplanar means there are different planes like x, y, z. So these are the different types of planes. Now in this again there are different types. One is coplanar concurrent forces. There is a plane, single plane x, y. Now there are forces like this. Let the force F1, F2, F. These are the three forces that are in the same plane. By extending all the forces means the line of action of all the forces. If they are meeting at a common point, we say these are concurrent forces, and all the forces are in the same plane. That's why we say coplanar concurrent forces. Number 2, coplanar non-concurrent forces. Means the forces are in the same plane but they are not meeting at a common point, then we say non-concurrent forces. Then the third one is parallel forces. Means coplanar parallel forces. So it is like this. There is a force F1, another force F2. There are two forces F1, F2. They are in the same plane and at the same time they are parallel to each other. So now these are called coplanar parallel forces. If they are not parallel to each other, then we say non-parallel forces. Then the last one is collinear forces. Collinear forces means forces are in a same line, means like this. So let's take the force F1, force F2. Two forces are in same line. So this F1, F2 are known as a collinear forces. So these are the different types of forces under the coplanar forces. Now let us see the non-coplanar forces. So one is concurrent forces. So non-coplanar concurrent forces means the forces are in different planes. So there is a force F1, F2, F3. So if we extend the line of action of all the forces, if it is a common point, then we say concurrent forces. They are in the different planes, so we say non-coplanar concurrent forces. If they are not meeting at a common point, then we say non-concurrent forces. Now the second one is a parallel forces. So let us say there is a force F1, force F2, both are in the different planes, still they are parallel to each other. So we say non-coplanar parallel forces. So if these two are not parallel, then we say non-parallel. So these are the different types of forces under coplanar force system and non-coplanar force system. So this comes under system of forces.